Hi, Siddharth. Good morning. I can't see you on WebEx. Okay. No, I can't see you. Acha, listen, in case there's any problem on WebEx, I'm sharing the link for Zoom. You'll immediately shift to Zoom. Okay, because last time my experience wasn't too good. They'll click on the link from their mobile or laptop. Just need to click a link. That's all. They don't need to do anything else. I'm just saying if there's a issue, if there's no problem, then there's no problem. I'll just put it right now. So what we'll do is then I'll shift open my Zoom window and then you keep directing the participants whoever are there from WebEx to Zoom in case there's a problem. Okay. Okay. Now where do I put chat? Okay, here's it.
Good morning, ma'am. My voice is audible to you?
Yes, I can. I mean, I can't see you.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. I'm not switched on my video right now. Yeah, we will be starting at 11. Sure.
Okay, 11 sharp. All right, great. Acha, listen, Siddharth.
Ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am.
You've written few more panelists to join. So who are the few more panelists to join? I didn't know.
Ma'am, one is our DG sir, who is going to join shortly. I think he is busy today, so he might join today. But I think our group head Shri Shailesh Srivastav and our DG Shri Arun Kumar Jha, they will join us shortly. I think they are in a meeting right now, and once they will be completed, and then they will join us. But meanwhile, we will start our session, and later on, they can join.
All right, fair.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. A very warm welcome to the webinar on how to lead your business from good to great. And I welcome all the panelists to our discussion forum today. And we have with us Ms. Jyoti Gulati, who will be our expert speaker for today. And she will be taking you to the session of how to lead your business from good to great. And first of all, I would like to welcome all of the participants to joining our webinar on how to lead your business from good to great. And I hope I am audible to you loud and clear. And I think, Ms. Gulati, you can just confirm whether my voice is audible to all of you.
So good morning, everyone. Yes, your voice is audible, Siddharth, but I'd like to see everybody. Can you make everybody visible so that we can all see each other?
Uh, I think, ma'am, that, wait a second, I'll just make sure. Yeah, good morning, everybody. I think I have made everyone panelist. Good morning, all the participants. Have you received the panelist confirmation from your side? I think you can unmute and you can turn on your video so that we can make this session interactive. I request all the participants to please join this discussion forum and make yourself visible and unmute your audio.
So I can see you,
Yeah, I
Siddharth.
think, wait. Yes, ma'am. Wait a second, ma'am. I think there is some restriction, ma'am. Wait a second. I'll just make sure that everyone should be the panelist in this.
I can see you. I can't hear you. You're mute. So you'll have to unmute yourself, Farah. I request all participants to unmute yourself, put your video on so that we can see each other and have an interesting conversation.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you, Farah. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
So looking forward to this 2-hour session with you.
Fantastic. And while we are waiting for Siddharth to set up, let's do some little pre-work. So all of you can hear us, hear me. Why don't you all, consider what questions you have with respect to leading your business, leading your career from good to great. What are your questions? So write down the questions that you have with respect to leading your business or your career or your profession from good to great.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Very warm welcome to the webinar on how to lead your business from good to great. Proceeding further, I will just like to take you a brief introduction about NPC and its services. So I will start because our panelists, they are just about to join our session because I think they are busy in some other meetings and some other commitments for today. So without wasting our time, we will start the session. And I think we have made everyone as the panelist for today. And I would like everyone to please be interactive in this session so that you can also join the session and you should also give some of your inputs. And you can also turn on your mic and your camera also, and we could have a very full discussion today. And as we have a very knowledgeable faculty with us, Ms. Jyoti Gulati, I will introduce to her in the next session. Without wasting time, let's start with the NPC introduction. So NPC is a premier consultancy organization which is under DIIT, which is Department of Policy, Internal and Industry Trade, and it is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. It is mandate to promote the productivity consciousness for socio-economic development through productivity promotion and dissemination through consultancy, research, and training activities. Basically, we are into productivity promotion and consultancy, research, and training activities. And this is also one of the part of our webinar. We are promoting all the productivity to our sessions, which we are delivering from, I think, from the COVID, from the start of the COVID era. So NPC also represents Government of India in Tokyo-based Asian Productivity Organization, which is in Japan, and APO is a very quality member of our NPC. And we have a pan-India presence and with the headquarters in Delhi. And I'm your host, Siddharth Pal, Assistant Director in Training Management and Technology Management Group. And I'm representing you from Delhi to Delhi. And we have 12 regional directorates from almost each of the states of the India. So it is like Chennai, we do have an office, and also we have a training institute here in Chennai. Conduct many training programs for various domains. And we do have an office in Bangalore, we do have an office in Hyderabad and Kolkata. Then we have Northeast region, we have an office in Guwahati, and we do have an office in Patna, Kanpur, and Chennai, also Chandigarh, Jaipur, and Gandhinagar. And also we do have an office in Mumbai. So these are our services where we take the consultancy in techno-managerial services. We do have a domain in industrial engineering, which is a core domain of the national security, as well as the environment management and energy management. Apart from that, we do have a services in economic services, information technology, and I'm from training division, so which is also a wing of the NPC. Another group like productivity awareness and human resource management. So the services which we provide from NPC. And talking about NPC service portfolio, we do have two wing NPC interventions, which is productivity promotion and productivity augmentation. In productivity promotion, we have a thematic annual productivity celebration as well as the publication. In publication, we do provide productivity journal, productivity news newsletters, and in productivity augmentation, we do provide consultancy, training, research, and introduction to new productivity concepts in collaboration with APO, where we undertake many international training programs in many of the international locations, basically from Asia and South Asia. And also in monitoring and evaluation, we do conduct many studies in monitoring and evaluation, and have also provided the recruitment solutions. Some of our clientele from the government industries, like we do have clients at Ministry of Corporate Affairs. We have almost each and every clients from private as well as for the government organization. If you see, we have many big companies also. Like we do have Somani, we have Adani, Eicher, Reliance. So we have touched almost each and every big client from India as well as from the international services. NPC is also pleased to announce that we have also launched one e-pass, basically, which is a productivity advisory solution service. As you know that as you know that is
Voice, yeah, there's some background noise.
Prime Minister on digitization. So we have also moved our consultancy service in digitization. So if you want any of the services, you can just avail this e-pass where we have list e-consultancy services of NPC. These are the some of the list which I will just brief you about for you. Like competency mapping and assessment is one of the field. Then we have a training need impact assessment also, and then value stream mapping from lean manufacturing to I think we have from job evaluation from agri business to HRM. We provide consultancy in each and every domain. So if in case if you have any of the query with NPC, you can just simply log into our website, which is www.npcindia.gov.in, and in that you can also go to the e-registration form. Link is also provided here, and I will also share the presentation to all of you so that you can also avail this e-pass. So basically, how to avail the e-pass? You have to just e-query and register the registration form. Then you have a web-based meeting, and we will get back to you based on your query, and then we will provide you the e-consultancy, and we will have a follow-up meeting, and then we will start our services as per the agreed meeting. So panelists for today, I think our panelists are busy today, and so let me introduce with our DG sir, Shri Arun Kumar Jha. He is an IAS, and he is also an additional secretary to Government of India and the Director General of NPC. It is because of his leadership we have moved over all the consultancy through digitization, and till date NPC has conducted about more than 250 webinars and trained more than 50,000 participants till date, and this is only about 4 months of the progress which we have made around 50,000 participants. And we have other panelists today, Sri Shailesh Srivastavji, who is a group head and director of training and technical management group based in NPC headquarters in Delhi. He is a BE in electrical engineering and postgraduate diploma in plant engineering, and he has done CPE, CAE, and he has also gone through many infrared thermographic monitoring evaluation, and he has over 23 years of experience in consulting as well as for training. And some few of his services were productivity studies, lean manufacturing implementation, safety awareness survey for government and private organizations, and training and consultancy. And his special expertise is in 5S and TPM implementation for various oil industries across nation. And because of his initiative only, we have launched one very quality scheme of 5S implementation scheme, which is a national 5S implementation scheme. If you go to our website, you can also see all the what are the benefits of having the 5S certification in your industries. So I will just request all the participants to just go through our website, and you can also see what are the services which NPC is offering to all of the clients from international as well as for international level. Let's speak about the speaker today. We have a very knowledgeable faculty today with us, Ms. Jyoti Gulati, who is the CEO, coach, and founder of many of the organizations like Center of Transformational Leadership and Center of Entrepreneurship Excellence, then Center for Personal Excellence and Moms at Work, and Center for Coaching Excellence. Before making an introduction of her, I was thinking that it will take around one and a half hour to just explain about what are the things she has achieved in her 23 years of time. And she has a very knowledgeable faculty, and she was a vice president of Citigroup and director of American Express, and also vice president of Polaris Software. And in 2010, she set up her own coaching practices, and she became a founder of these 5 prestigious organizations. She's also a bachelor in electrical engineering from NIT Jamshedpur and a master from IIFT in International Business, New Delhi. So she is a very knowledgeable faculty with us, and she integrates the science of success, leadership, personal mastery, brain, emotions, philosophy, spirituality, business, performance, and productivity, creation and innovation, cellular healing, ontology, action learning, neuro-linguistic program, lifestyling design, and physical, emotional, intellectual. So there is a many lot of things to say about her. And I think the words are not there with me right now. I think it is better to let her introduce today. And let's start the session with her, because we have a very knowledgeable faculty, and I think all of the participants will definitely gain very good knowledge about how to lead your organization or how to lead your business from good to great. So I will just brief her introduction, and I will just introduce to the speaker for today, Ms. Jyoti Gulati. Thank you so much, participants, and let's start with the session with our guest speaker today. Over to you, ma'am. I will.
Yeah, thanks, Siddharth. I appreciate your kindness in in the generous introduction that you made.
Thank
I
you.
my intention of the session is not to come and give a monologue. You understand? I'm not here to give a lecture. I'm here to have a very interesting conversation with all of you equally participating. So what I'd like all of you to do is to switch on your cameras, switch on, put your mute button off, and let's begin with the round of introductions. I mean, please share, your name, the city you're from, and what you do in brief. About 10-20 seconds each. So, who'd like to begin? Farah, you want to get started? You're mute, Farah. You mute. You mute. Yeah, now it's okay.
Okay, so this is Farah Akhtar. I'm very happy to be a part of this webinar. So I am also into coaching and training industry. I started 2 years back, and I'm a founder and CEO of Unleash Your Excellence Academy, where I coach clients from business and life coaching perspective. And before that, I have 12 years of work experience in banking and wealth management space, and my last employer was Citibank. So that's me in a nutshell.
Fantastic, Farah. What's your most important question with respect to the theme that we have today? Leading your business from good to great. What's your most important question?
So definitely, as we are in these uncertain times, we are COVID has affected us. So I just wanted to, learn like how do you scale up business and manage business in these times when people are struggling to make ends meet, and there is so much of, I think every sector has got affected. So how do you still keep your head above the water and sustain yourself?
Absolutely. Brilliant question. Thank you, Farah, for asking that. And would you keep your video on? It's nicer to see people than just to see,
Yeah.
blank screens. Yeah, thank you. Yes, who'd like to go next? Who'd like to come up and be brave? It takes a lot of courage to switch off your video. I realize that. So let's have some more brave people switch on the video, introduce themselves. Otherwise, I and Farah will end up having a conversation with all of you listening. Anybody else who'd like to start? Manoj, I see that you're not mute. You'd like to introduce yourself? Mayank? Yeah, Mayank, would you like to introduce yourself? Yeah, hi, Chaudhary. Rahul, and I can see, SK Jain and some Samuel, Ravikant. I mean, would anybody would like to, just come and share? Introduce yourself. What has you be a part of this conversation? Yeah, hi, thank you. Thank you, Rahul.
Yeah, I am from NPC only, from Gandhinagar office, one of the regional
Right.
directors of NPC. And I
Yes.
head the industrial engineering division here in Gandhinagar office. And same type of things, because COVID has affected many here, and most of our field studies have stopped. So what are the other avenues that we can look for?
Got you. So, question, Rahul, is what can we do during the time of COVID to continue running our businesses? Correct?
Correct.
All right. Good. Thank you. Great question. Yes. Who else would like to? So, we'll give about, I think, another 30 seconds for other people to introduce. Otherwise, we'll just get the conversation started, and you may not get your question answered. Rahul, would you keep your video on? It's nicer to see you. Anybody else would like to introduce themselves? Yeah, thank you, Rahul. I appreciate that. It's nice to look at people rather than just blank screens. Yeah. Who else would like to share? Samuel, Mayank?
Hello, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah, good evening. Can we have you on video, please?
Actually, I'm really sorry, ma'am. I am just logging from the desktop where it doesn't have the camera.
Oh, okay. All right. No problem.
Yeah, actually, ma'am, I'm Samuel and I'm from a Investment Productivity Council, New Delhi office. And I'm a deputy director working with the Environment Management Group and Monitoring and Evaluation. So the same question that Mr. Rahul has asked, there is a similar, at this juncture, that how to move forward, how to increase our business. There is the same question with Mr. Rahul, and as
Got it.
far as the NPC to discussion. Thank you, ma'am.
Got it. Thank you, Samuel. I appreciate you joining in the conversation, contributing and asking that question. Very relevant. Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah. Can we have other people also? So I heard my echo. Siddharth, why is my voice echoing?
Ma'am, I think many of the participants have turned their mic on. So because of that only it is echoing. So I'll just make sure that few of the participants should off the mic.
Okay. Yeah, I think now. Voice is still okay.
I request all the participants, whoever wants to talk, please turn on their mic then only. Otherwise, you can just mute yourself and you can turn your camera on.
Is my voice still echoing? It is. Siddharth, do you want to shift to Zoom? Because I can't talk with my voice echoing in the background.
Not echoing right now. I think it is okay now.
All right, it's okay. All right. That's the shortest of notice. I want to go to Zoom. All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anybody else? Yeah, would like to share where you're from, the challenges you have in running your business. So one key question that comes out is, what do we do during the times of COVID? With respect to our business, and I think that's a fantastic question. Inviting others to participate, or whenever during the conversation you feel the need to pose a question, feel free to do that. It'll be like really more interesting to have more people share their perspectives. It's not just about one person talking. It's about engaging in a conversation which is meaningful, which will contribute to everybody. Thank you, Himanshu. Himanshu, right? Yeah, you're mute, Himanshu. Yes. Thank you, Himanshu. Yes.
Hi. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
I'm Himanshu. I'm Assistant Director at NPC itself. I was currently on a project at one of our client locations at Bangla. But yesterday there was some incident and we came in contact with a COVID positive guy. So we are quarantined right now. So I thought it would be a good idea. Yeah, it's just a precautionary quarantine. That's not a problem. So I just thought it would be a good idea to utilize the time and listen to your webinar.
Thank you. And what question would you have if you had a question regarding leading your business or your career from good to great? What question could that be, Himanshu? Himanshu? Okay, so let's get started with that conversation. One of the first things that I want to say, that business is a context for making a difference. See, when you go to the marketplace and pick up a piece of bread and you pay 30 bucks, you pay 30 rupees. Why? Because the farmer has been of service to you. The transporter has been of service to you. The packager has been of service to you. So you don't even give 1 rupee if somebody has not been of service to you. So therefore, business is a construct which allows for one person to be of service, and in return, the other person gives money, energy. And that's how we have to look at business. If you want to create a great business, there are two ways of building a business. One is you run a mediocre business, which is you look at, okay, how can I earn money right now? And if that's the perspective, you'll never build a great business. The way to build a great business is to ask yourself the question, how can I be of greater service? And it is inside of answering that question that you can even look at becoming a Google or an Amazon or a Microsoft. These are like our top 10 companies in the world. They started out with answering a big question, solving a problem. That's what entrepreneurship is all about. So the problem is that imagine there's a dog, and the dog is the business, and the profitability of generating money is the tail of the dog. And all we want is a tail to wag so that we can get the money from the business, right? What is the best way to generate money? Beat the dog or feed the dog? Right? If you beat the dog is not going to wag the tail. Or you can hold the tail and wag it on your own. But it's a lot of hard work. That's why there's so much of stress about what it means to be a business today. Because we're all holding the dog's tail and trying to wag on our own. But the easiest way for the tail to wag is to feed the dog. Give some food to the dog, the tail will wag automatically. Money will come automatically. And feeding the dog is being of service to your customer communities. And I believe that time of COVID is an opportunity for all business owners, all professionals to actually grow massively, professionally, personally, as well as from money perspective. Because when there's a challenge, when there's a problem, right, then there's a greater opportunity to make a difference. So COVID actually is an opportunity to grow your business. But you'll grow your business only if that is the place you come from. So there are two places to stand at, right? I can stand at a place called, oh my God, look, we all have to wear masks. We can't even go to the market. I can't even meet my customer. How the hell will I sell? I can't do business. One place to start at. But there's another place you could stand at. And the other place to stand at is, there is, how can I help my customer? They are struggling as much as I am. What is the problem that they are facing that I can help solve? What is the problem that they have now that they didn't have before? What is the new problems that are there for, due to Corona? And can I build up my service to make a difference, greater difference? In fact, I run a Center for Entrepreneurial Excellence, like Siddharth mentioned. Each one of our member entrepreneurs have either grown their business or they've built a strong foundation to grow their business. And it is with this perspective of that the entrepreneur, the business owner, the business ecosystem is a vehicle to make a difference to your customer communities, to your employees. And therefore, whenever there are greater problems, there's greater opportunity to make a difference, isn't it? So let's look at some real examples, okay? And then let's hear some examples from your side. So I was coaching one entrepreneur. Now, he had a business in which he brings, thanks for coming on video. So she has a business in which she brings suppliers and the suppliers of service together in a networking meeting space. The suppliers and consumers together. That is the value that her business delivers. Okay. Now, if that is the value and they were meeting physically and in that networking space because they were from the same industry, a lot of connections would happen, business would take place, and that was creating value for them, for which they were paying this entrepreneur, the lady that I was coaching, the business owner that I was coaching. Now, Corona happened. No longer physical meetings could take place. So she decided, okay, now I can't do, maybe lockdown is for 3 months. Let me shut my business down for 3 months, focus on something else and start my business again once Corona goes away. Of course, lockdown went away, but Corona didn't go away, right? And she could not do. So she is in the spot where she didn't do business, and I reviewed her business. And then we looked at the business model. The value that she was creating was an opportunity for suppliers and consumers of the same industry to come together. And the fact is that they still have that need. And what was the problem that they were having? They were having a problem of not being able to interact and some business transactions that they were able to do before. So they were frustrated. And so the frustration level is even higher because of Corona. They can't sort of move their business forward. What I told the business owner, there's an opportunity for you to make a difference. And the good part of Corona is that people have become more open to online conversations, right? I mean, we never had the amount of work from home that's happening in the country is amazing and inspiring. Before that, corporates never considered giving that as an option. So the at a vast, the country has massively, as if over the last 3 months, suddenly has become comfortable with an online model of talking to each other. Even NPC is running webinars, right? And it's a huge opportunity. Now they can reach out, NPC can reach out to people not only sitting in Delhi, but across the world, maybe even to villages, even to small towns. Suddenly a huge opportunity opens up. But that opportunity was not there before Corona, because nobody would have even considered webinars, right? And so people the amount of smartphone proliferation that has happened, we have even our support staff at home, the didis who cook for us, who do our, jhadu pocha, etc. Even they have smartphones, they do video calls, right? So suddenly overnight, it seems, or at least over the last 3 to 4 months, the adoption of technology has massively increased, and that's a huge opportunity. So for me, I was lucky. 1 year before Corona happened, I decided to move my business online. I used to, coach out of a plush office in Gurgaon. And then I realized that I could only coach people in Gurgaon. It didn't make sense. I wanted to coach people in New York as much as in Europe, as much as in Jalandhar, as much as in Rajkot, right? And so I decided to move online. And I've had such massively beautiful conversations, and business has happened. I was just talking to a student in Sonipat, just graduated from engineering college, who started a business, already running a successful business. And his mission is to transform mental health for teenagers in the country. I mean, I told him 25 years ago when I graduated out of engineering college, I mean, that was not even a consideration. And he's already running a successful business. I spoke to another entrepreneur sitting in Jaipur. He worked with IBM and he would travel around the world before that, but he chose to set up a manufacturing unit and a legal advisory firm out of Jaipur. And that's massively beautiful. It's hugely inspiring. That growth is happening not only in Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, Chennai, but in the heart of the country today. And all because, there is this new technology that's come up. And we may not have been familiar with it before, but we are familiar. Today, wherever you're sitting, it doesn't matter. You can work, you can reach out to the world. That's a huge opportunity. Back to the entrepreneur that I was coaching, and I asked her, in your business model, and that's the first question, there are 3 important questions for which you must have an answer. If you don't have an answer to that question, better go back to the drawing board to figure that out. If any business owner does not know the answer to these 3 questions, you're actually sliding down a very dangerous slope. And here are the 3 questions. What problem am I solving? For whom am I solving this problem? And are they willing to pay me to solve this problem? Very important. This is what I call as stage 2 of business modeling. Stage 1 of business modeling is to figure out what your purpose is. And inside of that, and figure out how you can live your purpose through the business that you're running. I mean, India में तो हम बहुत lucky है ना, कर्म योग and भक्ति योग, we have सारे राज योग और ज्ञान योग. हमको तो मालूम है, बाकी दुनिया में मालूम नहीं है. तो हम जो कर्म करना, business है, is a playground to do our कर्म, to playground to do live our purpose of life. So very important in the first stage of our business building, or whenever we want to build a great business, the first step is to figure out what the hell is my business. What is the purpose of my life? क्या है, मैं इस जिंदगी में आया हूँ या आई हूँ, क्या पर्पस है? कोई पर्पस तो होगा ना. अब उस पर्पस को मैं अपने बिजनेस के थ्रू, अपने करियर के थ्रू कैसे जी सकती हूँ या जी सकता हूँ, वो क्वेश्चन का आंसर करना बहुत जरूरी है. जब तक आपको उस क्वेश्चन का आंसर नहीं पता कि मेरा पर्पस क्या है इस जिंदगी में, मैं क्यों बॉर्न हुआ हूँ या क्यों बॉर्न हुई हूँ, और उसका, और मैं अपने काम के थ्रू, अपने बिजनेस के थ्रू कैसे वो पर्पस लिव कर रही हूँ या कर रहा हूँ, वो a great business will not get built. You'll build a mediocre business, it will give you some money. But great wealth comes only with great business. But the interesting thing is when you're building a great business, you don't think about money, you think about solving problems. And the great wealth gets created automatically, like the dog I was talking about. Feed the dog, the tail will wag automatically. You don't have to worry about holding the tail and wag it. Right? So back to my entrepreneur friend whose business model I was reviewing and asked her, what is the problem are you solving? And she told me the problem I'm solving is that there is no place for the suppliers and consumers of this industry to get together, discuss business, and do some transactions, get to know each other, and take their business forward. I said, does that problem still exist? She said, yes, the problem still exists. I said, good. So Corona didn't change the problem. The problem is still there and it needs to be solved. And you, the one who took on solving the problem. So that's great. The second question I asked her, who benefits? For whom are you solving the problems? She said, I'm solving the problem for these consumers and suppliers. I said, great. Do they still exist? Yeah, they still exist. Even if Corona is there, they still exist. The third question to her was, are they willing to pay you to solve this problem even during the times of Corona? And she said, yes, they're still willing to pay me to solve this problem, but I can't solve the problem. As you can't solve the problem because you haven't innovated your business model. So what is needed is a business model innovation in Corona times. That is all. It's got nothing. The business is still there. The problem is still there. The challenges are still there. They still need to be solved for. People are still willing to pay you for it to solve it. But the way you delivered, you solved the problem, you cannot solve the problem like that today. You have to think creatively, innovatively, on how can I solve this problem now, considering these are my constraints. So I said, okay, so constraint says you can't do a physical meeting, then what can you do? So she said, okay, I said, she couldn't think of it. I said, you and I are talking over Zoom, which is a video conference. We're doing a video conference. We're not physically meeting. What stops you from getting your suppliers and your consumers together on a Zoom meeting? She hadn't even considered that. She said, oh, then, is it? Maybe I should charge less because they're not meeting in person. I asked her, if you do a video conference conversation, how does it help those consumers and suppliers? She says, okay, people come from Noida and come from Faridabad and they come from Gurgaon and they come from all of the places to one place in NCR to meet up. And most people spend 2 hours on the road. I said, is that a value add? That now you'll reduce it? She said, yeah, each one of them will not have to now travel, right? I said, then you charge a premium on your product. If you were charging some 2,000 rupees membership for this new service, you charge 3,000 because you have being of greater service. You're saving them time. You're saving them effort. You're saving them money. She said, oh, yes, that's right. But, how do I do one-on-one meetings? I said, you figure it out on technology platform. And then she did. There's something called a breakout room in which the whole group can be together. And then you can create breakout rooms where, you can put 2 people together, 3 people together if you want. Technology allows, for that today. And so she launched a premium product. And in the times of Corona, became far more profitable with less time. Now, imagine she didn't have to commute. There was zero investment from our side now to conduct that meeting. She didn't need to, go to a hotel room and book it. No money required there. She didn't have to have a separate extra person to do the admin and coordination. That saving happened. She saved her own time because she didn't have to commute to that place. Sitting in the comfort of her home, she could run this meeting and charge a premium. And that's how she innovated a business model to, scale a business during the time of Corona. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am, completely.
Beautiful. So what's the next question from here? If she can do it, what is it that you need to do? What are the challenges that you have at your workplace because of Corona that you can now innovate? to create a much better product, a much better service. Ultimately, business is about being of service. Business is about solving a problem. And there are always problems. And that's why being an entrepreneur, being a business owner is so exciting. Because we are problem solvers. We are here to transform the world by solving the problems that besiege our country. So what's your next question from here, Farah?
So the next question that how do you target your audience? Understand your audience. Like, okay, you know that this is a target audience, but how do you go and connect with them?
Beautiful.
Like,
Beautiful.
you know your customers, like you have identified these are the your customers, but how do you identify them and meet them?
Right. So let's make it real. Let's not have a hypothetical conversation, right? So who are your customers? Do you know that, or are you still figuring out?
No, I know that. So obviously, I'm into business coachings, right? So the entrepreneurs and business owners. So,
Right.
but connecting with them, like obviously, social media is one platform where you advertise, you market, you do campaigns. But what I have seen that the social media before COVID, like obviously I was doing personal meetings and all, but after COVID, I'm when I'm comparing it, though I'm doing social media campaigns and marketing online, but the kind of customer leads that I'm getting is not what I would do as much as I pre-COVID time.
I think it's a great question. So what I will tell you is a difference between a mediocre business and a great business. A great business is such that you've created such a fabulous product and service that customers chase you. And a mediocre business is such that you have to chase customers. Right? And our purpose as entrepreneurs, you're an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur, and many people here may be entrepreneurs because that's the reason they may be in this conversation. Our purpose is to build a great company, a great business, not a mediocre company, not a mediocre business. Not just to run a business to रोटी कपड़ा मकान के लिए नहीं सिर्फ बिजनेस खड़ा करना, अपने सेटिस्फैक्शन के लिए वो रोटी कपड़ा मकान तो आएगा पर जो फुलफिलमेंट है, जो अपने दिल में फुलफिलमेंट है उसके लिए, और वो कब आती है फुलफिलमेंट, जब हम वी मेक अ डिफरेंस, राइट? तो वो ग्रेट बिजनेस खड़ा करने के लिए we've got to build a business model such that customers chase us, and it's an iterative process. वो पहले में नहीं हो जाएगा. मैं आपको एक और एग्जांपल देती हूँ. मेरे पास एक बिजनेस ओनर आए, 15 साल से बिजनेस में थे. तो उन्होंने बोला कि हम 15 साल से हैं, पर वो माथापच्ची है ना जो 15 साल की अभी भी चल रही है, सेम माथापच्ची. हम ऑपरेशंस फ्लोर में हैं, वो एक एम्प्लॉयज को चेस कर रहे हैं, कस्टमर्स को चेस कर रहे हैं. मतलब पैसा आता है, पर आता है वैसे वैसे चला जाता है, कुछ बचता ही नहीं है. तो 15 साल ऐसे ही गुजर गए, पर बिजनेस ग्रो ही नहीं होता. मैं कैसे स्केल करूं? ऐसे बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है. थैंक गॉड एटलीस्ट यू स्टॉप्ड टू आस्क दैट क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज़ मोस्ट पीपल आई नो डोंट इवन आस्क दैट क्वेश्चन, एंड वो जिंदगी भर तक वही माथापच्ची चलती रहती है. बिजनेस इज नॉट मेंट टू बी माथापच्ची. Businesses are designed to support us to live deeply fulfilling lives, joyous lives. Designed us to support us to have it all. Not only a fulfilling business, but also loving, harmonious relationships at work and at home. Happy, responsible kids with their genius joyfully expressed. Also, nourishing and nurturing ourselves to the highest level of fitness, personal mastery. Also that. Right? Businesses are a medium for us to have it all, as it were. और ये माथापच्ची का बिजनेस चलता है जब आपने डिसाइड कर लिया कि मुझे मीडियोकर बिजनेस ही रन करना है. एक ग्रेट बिजनेस का एस्पिरेशन रखेंगे तो यू कैन हैव इट ऑल, राइट? सो आई सेड ओके ठीक है, मैं रिव्यू करती हूँ, लेट मी जस्ट सी. आप मुझे सो आई डीप डाइव्ड एंड आई रिव्यूड द बिजनेस मॉडल एंड आई वाज नॉट सरप्राइज्ड. देयर वाज नो आर्टिकुलेटेड बिजनेस मॉडल तो था ही नहीं. और मोस्ट बिजनेसेस ऐसे ही शुरू हो जाते हैं बिना बिजनेस मॉडल के, और 30-40 साल हो जाते हैं. मैंने देखे ऐसे बिजनेसेस 40 साल के बाद भी मालूम ही नहीं है ओनर को कि बिजनेस मॉडल क्या है, राइट? सो आई सेड लुक, यू डोंट हैव अ बिजनेस मॉडल, राइट? दैट इज व्हाई माथापच्ची चल रही है. सबसे पहले सब कुछ आप देखो, आप पेंटिंग के जब अंदर हैं तो आपको पेंटिंग दिखाई नहीं देगी. अब बिजनेस ओनर का काम है कि वो पेंटर बने, पेंटिंग ना बने। तो अगर 30 साल के बाद भी आप पेंटिंग के अंदर घुसे हुए हैं तो आप क्या क्रिएट करेंगे, right? So the first thing is to step, and when you do business modeling, it's an opportunity for you to step outside that painting and then look at the painting that you have created. Business is an art, and if you're a business owner, you're an artist, so this is your creation, right? तो आप जब पेंटिंग में देखते हैं तो बाहर से देखेंगे तो पता चलेगा कौन से रंग नहीं होने चाहिए, कौन सी लकीरें नहीं होनी चाहिए, राइट? कौन से लकीरें होनी चाहिए, कौन से रंग होने चाहिए, then only can you make that decision, right? But when you're in part of the painting, you have no perspective, and that's the reason why businesses remain mediocre and they don't become great, right? So that was the story of my friend entrepreneur, and then I had the opportunity to study another business. वो startup थे, starting में first year onwards they started to build their business model, and they broke 15, I think 10 to 12 business models in 1 year alone. Business model का मतलब क्या होता है कि it's a construct, it's a one page through which has 9 boxes. I mean, you guys can go and check on my website and Google business modeling on Jyoti Gulati, then you'll be able to get some information around that. So जब आप उसको उन्होंने अपना ये प्राइमरी 3 क्वेश्चंस होते हैं जब सेकंड स्टेज ऑफ बिजनेस मॉडलिंग में सॉल्व करते हैं. Who's my customer? What problem am I solving, and how are they willing to pay me for it, right? तो उन्होंने ये आइटरेटिव प्रोसेस होता है, ये नहीं कि एक बिजनेस मॉडल सोच लिया और बस उसी के ऊपर चलाते जाओ, राइट? तो उसको आपने आइटरेटिवली ब्रेक करके you have to reach a point where you have discovered a business model which is not only profitable but also repeatable and also scalable. Before you scale it up, you have to have a business model, an articulated, tested, validated business model which is profitable, which is repeatable, which is scalable. मतलब वो mathematical equation solve होनी चाहिए, और वो टेस्ट के थ्रू, जरिए के थ्रू आप अपने कस्टमर से टेस्ट करके, through the conversation with the customer, you solve that. ये हमारे यहाँ पे इतने कॉफी कैफे डे के इतने बड़े बिलियनर ओनर, he committed suicide. Why? Because he was in so much of debt. And that is the problem with the startup industry or in our businesses in the country and world over. Harvard का statistic है 75% of businesses fail in the first year. 90% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. More or less for the same reason कि हम चाहते हैं कि business invest करें, जैसे आइडिया आया झट से business पैसा invest कर दिया, वो तो that is foolishness. Because आपने टेस्ट नहीं किया भाई कि ये आइडिया प्रॉफिटेबल है भी या नहीं. ठीक है, चलो प्रॉफिटेबल हुआ, क्या मैं इसका सक्सेस रिपीट कर पाऊंगा या नहीं, या कर पाऊंगी या नहीं, राइट? चलो रिपीट भी हो गया, इसको मैं स्केल कर पाऊंगी या नहीं कर पाऊंगी. तो अगर आपका बिजनेस आइडिया स्केलेबल नहीं है तो उसमें इन्वेस्ट करने का कोई फायदा ही नहीं है. बिजनेसेस के एक ग्रेट बिजनेस के 5 स्टेजेस होते हैं बिल्ड करने के. एक मीडियोकर बिजनेस तो एक ही स्टेप होता है, आइडिया आया, झट से पैसा लगाया, शुरू कर दिया, राइट? बट टू बिल्ड अ ग्रेट बिजनेस देयर आर 5 स्टेप्स. Stage 1, I call as mountain of purpose. Figure out what your purpose is. Figure out the linkage with what business you're in. And ये क्यों जरूरी है, मैं आपको बताती हूँ क्यों जरूरी है. तो एक 3 जन पत्थर का तोड़ रहे थे. रोड में पत्थर तोड़ते हैं जब कंस्ट्रक्शन होती है, राइट? So there was one gentleman who was crossing by, saw 3 stone cutters cutting stone. One stone cutter, the first one, was looking tired, exhausted, sweating, बहुत गर्मी थी, इतना छोटा सा पाइल पत्थर का कटा हुआ. दूसरा थोड़ा सा ठीक था, he wasn't so tired, but उसका इतना पाइल था. But तीसरा जन तो वो singing while he was cutting stone, और उसका पाइल इतना बड़ा, and he didn't look tired at all. So this guy who was passing by was very amazed. He asked the first one कि भैया आप कर क्या रहे हो? तो पहला वाला बोला कि मैं तो पत्थर तोड़ रहा हूँ. फिर वो दूसरा वाले के पास गया, आप क्या कर रहे हो? वो बोला कि मैं I am building a wall. I said अच्छा. और तीसरे वाले से पूछा what are you doing? He says I am building a temple. तीनों काम एक ही कर रहे थे, पत्थर तोड़ रहे थे ताकि वो एक टेम्पल में लग जाए या कैथीड्रल में लग जाए या मॉस्क, वो भी एग्जांपल ले लें आप, डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हिच रिलीजन यू बिलोंग टू. बट अल्टीमेटली पर्सपेक्टिव बहुत जरूरी है. अगर आपका यही पर्सपेक्टिव है कि मैं पत्थर तोड़ रहा हूँ अपने नौकरी में ताकि मुझे 2 दिन का रोटी मिल जाए, तो आप स्वेट करेंगे और टायर्ड हो जाएंगे, कुछ मजा नहीं आएगा जिंदगी का, you'll be like the first stone cutter. अगर थोड़ा सा ज्यादा बड़ा पर्सपेक्टिव हुआ कि चलो हम वॉल बना रहे हैं, थोड़ा सा अपनी कंपनी के लिए कुछ कर रहे हैं, तो एक वॉल बनेगी, आपकी प्रोडक्टिविटी थोड़ी बढ़ेगी पर ज्यादा नहीं. But if you know the cause you're standing for, and the cause is so big that it brings tears to your eyes, you figured something. You found the connection in your heart and soul with what you're doing. And that connection with your heart and soul and mind with the work that you're doing, whether you're a business owner or an employee, is very, very critical. Without that soul connection, we human beings, we are a little evolved than animals. हमको सिर्फ रोटी और कपड़ा नहीं चाहिए, हमको मीनिंग चाहिए, हमको पर्पस चाहिए. और उस मीनिंग और पर्पस के बिना हम भूखे मर जाते हैं, हमारी सोल्स मर जाती हैं. तो ये मीनिंग फाइंड करना, दैट इज माउंटेन. फर्स्ट स्टेज बिजनेस, इट्स कॉल्ड माउंटेन ऑफ पर्पस. जब आपने बिजनेस आइडिया खोज लिया, कनेक्शन ढूंढ लिया, तब आप सेकंड स्टेज में जाएं. आई कॉल इट द माउंटेन ऑफ वैल्यू. माउंटेन ऑफ वैल्यू में यू सर्च फॉर योर ब्लू ओशन. नाउ ये ब्लू ओशन क्या चीज होती है? तो बिजनेसेस का एनवायरनमेंट दो तरह का होता है. एक है रेड ओशन. फॉर यू आर अ कोच, राइट? And today in the country, the coaching industry is a red ocean. Every second person is a coach. We are, everybody's biting into each other. It's all about reduce I'm less costly. I mean, there isn't any difference between one coach and the other. It's a red ocean, right? So any business environment where every other business, your competition is just like you, everybody's offering the same thing, and you're all chasing customers, is a red ocean. Now that's not a good place to be in, right? A red ocean is, if you want to run a mediocre business sits in the red ocean. But if you want to build a great business, and if you're a business owner, there's nothing, they could not be any other purpose of your life. If you're a business owner, you want to build a great business. If you are an employee, you want to work from good to great. अपने जिंदगी का कुछ मतलब निकालना है. Leave footprints in the sand of time. I believe every human being is destined for greatness. Every human being. And the question is, are we going to nurture that greatness inside of that? Are we going to nurture that light and live in the expression of that light? That's the question. So, second stage, blue ocean kya hota hai? That you are the only one and customers chase you. So if you look at the top 10 organizations of the world, the Amazon, the Facebook, Microsoft, I mean, all these, Google, for example. Google ने दो छोटे बच्चों ने एक गराज में शुरू किया Google. हाँ, और उनका उस टाइम पे ड्रीम था कि हम $1 billion कंपनी बनाएंगे. आज $200 billion बन गया, $1 trillion बन गया, 1 trillion. I was looking at last 990 something, nearly $1 trillion of impact those two small kids in a garage have created over 20 years. Because अगर आप देखोगे उसके इंडस्ट्री में, गूगल यहाँ और उसके पीछे कोई भी नहीं. अगर मुझे कुछ सर्च करना होता है ना, आज मैं क्या बोलती हूँ? ओके, गूगल करती हूँ. ये नहीं बोलती मैं याहू करती हूँ, ना ये बोलती हूँ मैं इंटरनेट एक्सप्लोरर करती हूँ. वो कहाँ के कहाँ मर गए, किसी को पता भी नहीं चला. So if you, Mountain 2 is about finding your blue ocean such that you are the only one in your category. You're a monopoly, right? And customers chase you. And that's a function of a process of creation, of deeply understanding your customer. And what does deeply understanding your customer mean? Let me tell you another example. I mean, I was reading about an American entrepreneur. So मेरा काम ही यही है, to read about entrepreneurs around the world, and and that's how I coach, right? तो वो फिटनेस ट्रेनर थे, फिटनेस ट्रेनिंग फॉर विमेन. तो उन्होंने स्टूडियो सेटअप किया फिटनेस ट्रेनिंग के लिए, अपना बिजनेस खड़ा किया और invited women, come lose weight, everybody wants to lose weight. So she said she had a very good business idea. She'll help women lose weight through fitness and business बढ़ेगा. तो कोई आया ही नहीं. तो वो सोच रही क्यों नहीं कोई आया उनके बिजनेस से खरीदने के लिए. तो then she started talking to the customers, her prospective customers. और बार बार हर वुमन वही बोल रही थी, I wish I could fit into my college jeans. I wish I could fit into my college jeans, है ना. So then she changed her conversation. She didn't say come and to my studio to lose weight. She said come to my studio so that you can fit into your college jeans. And that established the connection. Now she knew what her customers needed. because she spoke to them. Most often, in the nice, cozy comfort of our offices, we'll dream up of some idea, dream up of some service, and then we will do marketing campaigns. For me, the platinum standard for a business is that your business is built only on referrals. You never have to market. I have a one-line marketing strategy, which is to make a massive difference to the one client I'm coaching. That is my marketing strategy. Then I don't have to market myself because my client will market me. Right? So Mountain 2 is about, it's called Mountain of Value, wherein it's a process of discovery. और it doesn't matter आप कौन सी इंडस्ट्री में हो, न्यू एज इंडस्ट्री में हो, लाइक कोचिंग इज अ न्यू एज इंडस्ट्री. 10 साल पहले तो किसी को मालूम ही नहीं था कोचिंग क्या होता है. हाँ, हम भी कोचिंग करते थे 10 साल पहले, पर आई डिडंट नो आई वाज कोचिंग. बाद में पता चला कि हम कोच कर रहे हैं. तो ये न्यू एज इंडस्ट्री हो या एक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट हो या आप एक दुकान रन कर रहे हो, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. चाहे अपने बिजनेस में अपने कुछ भी छोटा बिजनेस हो बड़ा हो, डजंट मैटर. सारे बिजनेसेस, इफ यू वांट टू बिल्ड a great business, you want to follow this process. So second stage is to, through a repeated set of tests, I call them tests. Yes, Farah.
Jyoti, I have one question. Like, now that you were talking about, from red ocean to blue ocean, right? So, but how do one, shift themselves from the red zone to the blue zone? Matlab, you mentioned that it's a process, it's a discovery process, and you need to introspect yourself and go within, understand your customer. But how do one go about it?
Fantastic. So I'll share from my experience. Okay, I left my corporate job 10 years ago. And the reason I left my corporate job is I was, a workaholic, like all of us are in corporate world. I burnt myself out. My coach doesn't like me to use. So by the way, I have a coach too. So if you want to grow, having a coach is a great thing. So if I've sustained over a period of time, is because I had sensible people mentoring and coaching. Because खुद अपने आप को आप देख नहीं सकते, आप क्या कर रहे हैं वो भी नहीं देख सकते. कोई किसी को, you need somebody to show the mirror to you, right? So I what my heart burnt, and also I had little kids at home. I was feeling very guilty about leaving them at home, and but I was also heartbroken at leaving my job, because 10-15 साल से कितनी मेहनत करके हमने पढ़ाइयाँ कितनी करी, कितना करके उसको छोड़ना आसान नहीं था. बट एक साइड से हम बोर हो गए थे वही काम करते करते, दूसरे साइड में I had kids. So I thought, I want to create some business through which I will make a difference to women, because that burnt my heart at that moment, right? So I started my first business called Mums at Work. So Mums at Work का business पहले मैंने शुरू किया. मैंने कहा चलो how will I make a difference to working women? तो मेरा first idea था, चलो अगर मैं vegetables और groceries deliver करती हूँ workplace में, तो उनका time save हो जाएगा. तो घर में जाके they'll have some more time to rest. So I said, okay, great idea. I enrolled with KPM. I told KPMG HR head, they agreed. They said fine. I partnered with a supplier. I think Garg Dastak or somebody. And I said, okay, fine. You'll get an order from the women at workplace. You deliver it at workplace. Gentleman said fine. And so we started that. But then I realized that the women would need to carry groceries in the metro. Because वो घर में तो अपनी कार से थोड़ा जा रही थी, वो तो दिल्ली से आती थी और मेट्रो में बैग्स पकड़ के बहुत इनकन्वीनियंट है. तो वो बिजनेस मॉडल फर्स्ट ट्राई में ही ब्रेक हो गया. That was my first business model that got broken. Then I thought, see, the reason why women quit their jobs is because they are not able to, manage work and home. And corporate hours इतने ज़्यादा हैं कि आप इसलिए आप so many women quit. And my biggest purpose of Mums at Work was to support women to stay on job, right? So I said, ठीक है, let me create part-time opportunities. So I then rolled out. I mean, I had a huge network of connections in the corporate world. I spoke to different CEOs, and I found some corporate part-time jobs. Then I found another problem. I found that women at home did not have the work ethic to work. They needed some amount of coaching to become professionally, to become professional and have the work ethic to be able to deliver. And the problem with the corporates is they didn't want part-time jobs. They wanted full-time people, pay them for X hours and get them to do 2Y works, 2X work, right? उनका तो मॉडल वही X दो और 2X काम निकालो. तो part-time ना corporate चाहिए था. Women were not skilled enough sitting at home because कितने देरों से वो घर में बैठी हुई थी. तो work ethic lose हो गया, self-esteem lose हो गई. So without some kind of a integration program, the women were not ready to come back to the workplace. I said, चलो ठीक है, ये भी business model break हो गया. The third business model आया. I said, चलो ठीक है. That matlab I must give some leadership training program to these women so that they are marketplace ready. So I started with this leadership program. I call it Graceful Existence. But it didn't stick also. Because women, just to do leadership program, koi purpose to tha nahi. I didn't have lots of jobs waiting for them, right? I just said, okay, it'll help you to get your work life back. It'll help you to have self-esteem. You'll feel better about yourself. But remember, I know who I wanted to make a difference to. The first question. Who has a problem? Whose problem are you solving? I wanted to solve the women's problem, right? Second question tha, what is the problem they are facing? The problem they are facing is they're not able to manage work and home, and so they quit their jobs and they don't end up feeling happy, and they crib and nag their husband subsequently. So therefore, there's marital discord, children are not happy, everything falls apart, right? That's what happens, right? Third question is, are they willing to pay for it? So मेरे को वो second question solve हो गया, but third question solve नहीं हुआ because they were not willing to pay to be happy, right? So then I evolved into another business model, which was, chalo theek hai, let me coach them in entrepreneurship. At least they will, when the program is over, they'll have a profitable business that will make them financially independent. And that program clicked, right? So then Mums at Work was about running and there are a lot of other business models that I broke that I'm not even sharing. I must have broken some 10 business models to arrive at this point. I started an entrepreneurship program, which I signed up women who were at home on sabbatical or corporate professionals who wanted to start their business. And a lot of women set up successful businesses. Then I had men coming over. They said, we also want to learn entrepreneurship. And I said, okay, Mums at Work with a space in here. What do I do? Also, I realized just holding a safe cocoon for women was coming in their way, because world mein only women thodi na rehti hain, men bhi rehte hain. So they need to have the confidence enough to deal with men and be comfortable with them and do business with them. If I just hold a safe space for women only in Mums at Work, I am not coaching them to become super successful or build great businesses, right? So inside of that was born my next business model, which was Center for Entrepreneurial Excellence, which was launched some 7-8 years back. Which is when I opened up, across nations, across genders. It was an open program. In fact, today I run a program called Project Unicorn, where my commitment is to support 100 Indian women to build unicorn businesses, right? But by design, the Project Unicorn is open to both men, women, and not necessarily Indian, across the world, because I deliver online, correct? Because I know if there is no diversity, it by itself, the success will not. I measure my success by the number of Indian women I've helped to cut over to the other side of building a unicorn business. Yet the project is open to all, right? So that project is inside of Center for Entrepreneurial Excellence. So do you get a sense of how business modeling evolves? Yeah. And inside of Center for Entrepreneurial Excellence, the next idea came. Now I want to cause a transformation in the world, right? I'm working with entrepreneurs. And yet I want to scale them up to become a great business. But you become, Farah, you become an average of 5 people you spend your time with. And I was spending time only with entrepreneurs, startup. So मेरे पास फिर कैसे experience आएगा to coach them to become a Mountain 5 business, which is a corporate. I must have in my network people who are in Mountain 5, right? Business owners who are running great businesses. अगर मेरे पास वो experience नहीं है तो मैं इनको कैसे आगे लेके जाऊंगी? So inside of that, Center for Transformational Leadership got born, in which I committed to coaching CEOs of large corporates. And when I coach CEOs of large corporates, what happens? I get that experience. I carry that experience back to Center for Entrepreneurial Excellence. Hey, thank you, Vikas, right? Thanks for coming on video. I appreciate that. I'm glad that, I could give you some courage to come on video. Thank you. I appreciate that. And so Center for Transformational Leadership got born. So today what happens is, my coaches, my clients under Center for Transformational Leadership will come and mentor my coaches under Center for Entrepreneurial Excellence. So it's अच्छा सा symbiotic relationship बन गया, right? तो अभी मैंने solve किया, profitability का solve हो गया problem, blue ocean का problem solve हो गया. अच्छा, blue ocean का कैसे solve किया? What I realized is कि एक business को बड़ा करने के लिए आपको सिर्फ एक चीज नहीं चाहिए, आपको 3 चीजें चाहिए. And I'm a student of greatness, right? So I've interviewed CEOs globally. I study their success habits. I study what makes a business great across the globe, right? And thanks to technology that allowed me to do that. And so, so I realized that it was not just knowing the content, I mean, जो आप करते हो, that is not enough. For example, I was talking to an entrepreneur who's a baker. अब उनको बेकिंग आती है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि वो अच्छे एंटरप्रेन्योर हैं. साइंस ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप अगर नहीं मालूम है, you can't run a successful baking business. So that's what happened within a year, because he was a great baker. उन्होंने अपना शॉप खरीद लिया एक मॉल में. Wrong investment. You don't invest in mountain 1, 2 or 3, you invest in mountain 4. वो जैसे ही आइडिया आया, इन्वेस्ट करके शॉप खरीद ली. तो 1 साल के बाद तो ढाई होना था, वापस गए फिर वो अपनी कॉर्पोरेट जॉब. तो बहुत जरूरी है कि आप 3 चीजें को ध्यान रखें. एक एंटरप्रेन्योर इज लाइक अ हीरो, लाइक अ पीसफुल वॉरियर ऑन अ जर्नी, फॉर पर्सनल मास्टरी, लाइफ मास्टरी एंड बिजनेस मास्टरी, राइट? पहली जर्नी क्या है? पहली जर्नी है लीडरशिप डेप्थ. वो होता है कि आप जैसे घर बनाते हैं तो फाउंडेशन होता ही नहीं होता. बिना फाउंडेशन का अगर 15 स्टोरी बिल्डिंग बनानी है, जैसे आई एम सिटिंग ऑन द 15th फ्लोर, अब इस बिल्डिंग को बनाने के लिए बेसमेंट में जब 15 डीप फ्लोर्स डीप होना चाहिए ना. अगर फाउंडेशन आधारशिला स्ट्रांग नहीं है तो ऊपर इमारत नहीं खड़ी कर सकते आप. तो जो आधारशिला है किसी भी बिजनेस की, उसको हम कहते हैं लीडरशिप डेप्थ, व्हिच इज योर ह्यूमन कॉन्शियसनेस. So it's an inner growth of who you are as a human being. Without you being a great human being, you can never build a great business. Period. It's not that you have a great business, therefore you become a great person. No, you're a great human being. That is why a great business gets created in the outside. आपको याद है ना कृष्णा क्या कहते हैं? दुनिया माया है, सब कुछ रिफ्लेक्शन है. सही है, एकदम सही है. जो बिजनेस का जो स्ट्रेंथ्स हैं, वीकनेसेस हैं, they mirror the owner's strengths and weaknesses. आपकी जो भी, अगर आपका X strength है वो 10x दिखाई देगा अपने बिजनेस में. अगर आपका Y strength है 10 times वो दिखाई देगा. तो अपने ऊपर काम करना एज अ बिजनेस ओनर तो बहुत ही जरूरी है if you want to build a great business. उसके and that is the primary reason why businesses fail. वो बिजनेस एक खड़ा कर देते हैं पर उसके बाद इनर स्ट्रेंथ ही नहीं होती उसको आगे ले जाने के लिए, राइट? So leadership depth is about growth habits. It's about you being the greatest version of who you are as a human being. And what does it take to do that is the journey you go on as a hero on this path. The second journey that you want to go on as as a peaceful warrior, as I call all entrepreneurs and business owners, as your peaceful warriors, right? दुनिया से नहीं लड़ाई कर रहे आप, but आप warrior हो क्योंकि आप एक जंग में जा रहे हो लड़ाई करने के लिए. क्या है जंग? एक ग्रेट कंपनी खड़ी करने के लिए. वो भी जंग है, राइट? और वो जंग किससे लड़नी है? अपने आप से पहले, दुनिया से लड़ने से पहले, राइट? तो सेकंड जो जर्नी यू वांट टू गो ऑन एज टू बी अ ग्रेट एंटरप्रेन्योर इज व्हाट आई कॉल एज क्राफ्ट मास्टरी. क्राफ्ट मास्टरी का मतलब क्या हुआ? अगर आप बेकर हैं, then ask yourself the question, what does it take for me to be the world's best baker, not only just India's? How to be a key person of influence globally in my domain. अगर मैं आज कोच हूँ, then मुझे ये नहीं सोचना कि मैं गुड़गांव में कैसे बेस्ट बन जाऊं. नहीं, मुझे सोचना है कि मुझे करना क्या है, मुझे सीखना क्या है, किससे सीखूं, कौन मेरा टीचर बनेगा, कहाँ से सीखूं ताकि मैं दुनिया की बेस्ट कोच बनूं. अरे मतलब नहीं कि हम बन जाएंगे बेस्ट कोच, पर अगर हम गेम खेलेंगे तो कहीं तो आगे बढ़ेंगे. तो इसका मतलब है टू प्ले द गेम टू बी द वर्ल्ड्स बेस्ट इन विच एवर डोमेन यू आर इन. अगर आप एक प्लास्टिक की बॉटल्स बनाते हैं, then be the world's best in that, play that game. अगर आपके पास कोई मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट है उदयपुर में, तो अगर आप पाइप भी बनाते हैं, तो what does it take to be the world's best in manufacturing those pipes? दुनिया में कहाँ से कहाँ पहुंच गया, जाके देखो ना कि बाकी दुनिया में क्या हो रहा है. आजकल तो कोविड के जमाने में तो पूरा खुल गया है. इवन इन उदयपुर और राजकोट और इन कहीं छत्तीसगढ़ कहीं भी बैठ के आप कहीं भी जा सकते हैं, राइट? तो सेकेंड जर्नी इज, तो वो घर की क्या होगी? दीवारें. तो फाउंडेशन क्या हुआ? लीडरशिप डेप्थ. जो दीवार क्या हुई? क्राफ्ट मास्टरी. हाउ डू यू बिकम द मास्टर ऑफ योर क्राफ्ट, राइट? एंड जो छत है, आई कॉल इट बिजनेस एक्सीलेंस, विच इज द आर्ट एंड साइंस ऑफ बिजनेस. एक साइंस है ये. और I'm the fact is businesses are not successful because 90% of business owners don't even know the science of business, don't even understand the mechanics of business modeling or mechanics of running a great business. Just because you have money and you invest in something and you hire people doesn't mean you're an entrepreneur. Just like having a baby doesn't make you, may make you a parent, but doesn't make you a father or a mother. You have to learn how to be a father and a mother. Similarly, having a business doesn't mean you're an entrepreneur or a business owner. You have to learn how to be, and especially family businesses face a lot of problem because वो पुश्तों से एक ही तरह से businesses run कर रहे हैं. And that's it's about running. I mean, I was coaching on this business owner, family business run कर रहे थे. और जैसे पिताजी रन कर रहे हैं वैसे वो रन कर रहे हैं, and he's stuck. He doesn't know how to sort of get out of that. He knew this is not the right way of doing it, but अब जमानों से वैसे हो रहा है, अब उसको कैसे change करें? बहुत जरूरी है to learn कि science क्या है. As a business owner, you're an artist. You're creating a work of art. और उस प्राइड से बिजनेस को रन करना है. तो ये 3 जर्नी बहुत जरूरी है. इस तीनों जर्नी के बिना ग्रेट बिजनेस खड़ा नहीं हो सकता. Does that answer your question? And so, Farah, answering your question, तो profitability पहले solve करी by finding the blue ocean. Then I got stuck at repeatability. अरे भाई मेरा बिजनेस ऐसा हो गया कि अगर ज्योति नहीं है तो बिजनेस ही नहीं रन करे, right? तो मतलब I haven't solved for repeatability. I got stuck again, right? So how do I run the business without Jyoti? That is what makes a business repeatable, right? How do I solve that question? So the way I solved that is I set up a center for coaching excellence. I said, "Okay, I will contribute to my industry and I will coach coaches how to coach from inside out so that they can make a massive difference to their customer communities and also coach them how to set up successful businesses. And while I'm coaches, कोई तो coach होगा जो मेरे साथ आके काम करेगा." So that's how I solved by setting up a new business. I solved for repeatability. And how do you solve for scalability? Then I have to be ready to a point where I can hire a CEO for one of my businesses and give the control away. That's how you scale. अगर एक business owner serial entrepreneur नहीं है, वो तो business owner हुआ ही नहीं, आप तो employee बन गए. आज की डेट में अगर if I'm not looking at, if I don't have the vision to hand over all of my 5 businesses to a CEO, I'm an employee in my business, right? तो एक entrepreneur का मतलब है कि आप serial entrepreneur बने. आप एक business खड़ा किया, जैसे if you give birth to a child, right? अब ये आइडिया थोड़ी ना होता कि जिंदगी भर वो चाइल्ड हमारी गोदी में ही बैठा रहे. अरे भाई उसको बड़ा होना है, इंडिपेंडेंट लाइफ जिएगा, अगले अपने घर में रहेगा. हमारा पर्पस एज अ पेरेंट वही होता है ना. तो बिजनेस भी एक बच्चे की तरह है हमारा. एंड आइडिया इज नॉट उसको हम इन्फेंट की तरह अपने गोदी में लेके घूमते रहे, फिर तो वो ग्रोथ मर ही जाएगा. लाइक चाइल्ड विल डाई इफ यू इवन एट 20 or holding it in your arms, right? Holding the baby in your arms. So the idea of business is to free it, let it grow, become a growth engine that it generates passive income for you. A business is meant to generate passive income for you, not that you're sitting as an employee in that business, right? So that's how you solve. You got, in fact, I was interviewing the CEO in the US, very successful serial entrepreneur, और मुझसे भी छोटा, 30 plus ही कुछ है, and very young guy, and he has multiple businesses, very successful, and earning large turnover. So I asked him, how did you manage to do it? He says, I started building my business and failing in my business while I was still in college. तो ये बहुत important है कि business, जितना जल्दी आप business शुरू करें उतना better है, जितना जल्दी fail करें और भी better है. Because failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is on the way to success. So don't try to avoid failure. We don't learn when we are successful. We only learn when we fail. And when we fail multiple times, then we have learned so much more that we can build a great business. So इसलिए leadership depth बहुत जरूरी है, because अगर leadership हम fail नहीं होना चाहते, no नहीं सुनना चाहते, right? तो leadership अगर अंदर inner strength है ना, तो फिर हमारे पास हिम्मत होगी no सुनने की, हिम्मत होगी fail होने की. और ये journey of entrepreneurship is, if you want to build a great business, when you break a business model, it's like you're breaking a business. No, you're failing. तो इतनी बार फेल करके एक सक्सेसफुल बिजनेस. सो बैक टू दैट कंपनी, मैंने बताया 1 साल में आई स्टडीड दैट बिजनेस. 1 साल में 12 बिजनेस मॉडल ब्रेक करके सेकंड ईयर से ही दे स्टार्टेड स्केलिंग अप एंड लाफिंग ऑल द वे टू द बैंक, मीनिंग दे बिकेम प्रॉफिटेबल फ्रॉम ईयर 2 इटसेल्फ. Whereas that other friend of mine 15 साल से जूझ रहे हैं, शॉप फ्लोर में ही बैठे हुए हैं. I mean, what is a better way of running a business? Isn't it? To become so strong from inside that you can fail 12 times in the first year. Or you continue suffering because you don't want to fail, जो किया शुरू करते गए in spite of it not working, right? And to get an outside perspective is very important. I mean, I couldn't have have the strength without people looking from outside and telling me how does the painting of my business look like. Because जब हम अंदर बैठे होते हैं पेंटिंग में, हमें चाहिए कोई हमें बाहर निकाले ताकि we can turn around and look at the painting. हमको पसंद भी है पेंटिंग या नहीं, या बदली करनी, correct? So does that answer your question, Farah?
Yes.
Brilliant. Brilliant. So who has the next question? So you have a question, Vikas? You are mute.
Yes, ma'am. I can ask one question. Presently, I'm also facing a problem in that because, as you know, we are dealing in the webinar activity, and like we are. Sometimes I feel like it's a kind of saturation we are achieving because lockdown is already over, and we are struggling in online marketing. So, do you have any suggestions how we can enhance the results of our online marketing for our webinar series? And other
Got it.
online activities also, because we have some other e-modules and other products.
All right. So it's a fantastic question, right? What I will say is that you're sitting on a gold. You're from NPC, right?
Yeah, I'm from NPC.
Yeah, got you. You're sitting on a gold mine. हमारे देश में 1 billion people हैं. So don't try to market your product. Try to find the need in the market. वो एक और अपना जो ये webinar series है गांव में लेके जाओ ना. ये small towns में लेके जाओ ना. जहाँ पे need है वहाँ पे तो कोई इनको big cities में तो बहुत कुछ हो रहा है. छोटे गांव में टाउन्स में कुछ भी नहीं होता. तो वहां पे समझो उनकी प्रॉब्लम क्या है और उनके प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने के लिए अपने वेबिनार बनाओ. यूजुअली हाउ बिजनेसेस रन, एंड आई डोंट नो इफ दैट्स व्हाट यू हैव डन. हम पहले अपना बिजनेस खड़ा कर लेंगे और फिर बेचने जाएंगे, तो फिर मार्केटिंग करनी पड़ेगी. हार्ड वर्क होगा और बिकेगा भी नहीं. द बेस्ट वे टू डू इज टॉक टू द कस्टमर. What would serve you? What would make a difference to you? And then build your program. That makes sense, Vikas? Yeah. So, I mean, आपके पास 12 subsidiaries हैं, 12 cities में. I heard in the beginning, in the introduction. तो आप जहाँ पे भी हो, जाके लोगों से बात करो. I mean, there has to be love for your customers to run a great business. अगर वो प्यार मोहब्बत नहीं है अपने customer, your heart is not burning to make a difference to your customers, you'll never be able to build a great business. And इतना heart burn करना चाहिए that you really want to solve their problems.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah? All right.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Anybody else who has the next question?
Yeah, ma'am, I just
Yes.
wanted to add one question based on the Vikas question only. That I think you have very nicely answered that we need to target our village customer also, because there is a lot of potential because they are the actual learners. So basically, ma'am, we are dealing with this online platform. So whether the potential customers, whoever the villagers are, whether they are also be very well versed with the technology which we are using right now. Currently, we are very educated also, and still we are facing problem with the internet connectivity and audio and visual connectivity. So how we have to cope up with that threat actually?
So I think the best way to do is to go to a village and talk to villagers. In fact, village जाने से पहले तो let's go to the towns ना. पहले towns सोनीपत में जाएं, रोहतक में जाएं, उदयपुर में जाएं. वहां देखिए, बात करें. वहां के बिजनेस, अगर आप बिजनेस आपकी टारगेट कम्युनिटी है, बिजनेस ओनर्स टारगेट कम्युनिटी है, तो उनसे बात करें. What will serve them? And वो उदयपुर और जो छोटे टाउन्स में तो इंटरनेट है, विलेजेस में ही बात है. पर विलेजेस जाने से पहले हम टाउन्स को तो सपोर्ट करें. इनफैक्ट हमारे अर्बन एरियाज में भी they are small and medium retailers, shopkeepers, traders, कितने सारे हैं. Maybe let's look at serving them, right? Have a conversation with them, invite them for a conversation. क्या problems है आपकी, पूछो जाके आप. You should pick up the phone and talk to them. If you can't meet them physically right now, if you have a database, pick up. What's your problem? What can we teach you that will solve your problem? And we will bring you exactly what you want. But problem क्या होता है कि usually business owners या organization का agenda होता है कि मुझे तो यही खिलाना है और मैं लड्डू खिलाऊंगा चाहे दूसरे को डायबिटीज हो, right? तो उनको नहीं खाना है बाबू लड्डू, उनको खाना है नमकीन. तो समझो उनको नमकीन खाना है, नमकीन दो उनको, तो फिर देखो कैसे तुम्हारा नमकीन बिकेगा.
Sure, ma'am. And ma'am, one more question was there with me. Ma'am, basically, as you told that we have to become entrepreneur, so we have to have the mindset of becoming entrepreneur, and we need to get all those mountains which you have discussed with us. So, ma'am, basically the problem comes with the early entrepreneur, that how to generate the funds for the business. Basically, the main question was that how to generate the funds for the business, even if there is a lot of savings also from one of the individual. Then whether he should put all the savings into one kind of a business, or whether he should acquire the from the his friends or families. How to do it actually? That is my question.
I think that's an excellent question, and a question that always burns my heart. You don't need money to run a business, by the way. बिजनेस वो पैसा कब चाहिए? जब आपको स्केल करना है. वो माउंटेन 4 है. माउंटेन 4 में स्केल करते हैं. स्केलिंग के लिए तभी ये कॉफी कैफे डे गॉट स्टक इनटू प्रॉब्लम, राइट? क्योंकि वो मनी, इन्वेस्टर मनी कब डाल दिया? माउंटेन 1 में डाल दिया, माउंटेन 2 में डाल दिया. यार ना तो प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी सॉल्व हुई, ना ब्लू ओशन मिला, ना रिपीटेबिलिटी सॉल्व हुई, ना स्केलेबिलिटी सॉल्व हुई. आपने पैसे ही पहले डाल दिए. तो पैसे तो डालना ही नहीं है. Run it like a shoestring, like it's like a startup by definition. Steve Blank is the father of modern day entrepreneurship, and I've learned from him Eklavya style. I've read a lot of his books, and I just love this guy because he came up with what is called as a lean startup methodology. So he basically fathered that whole concept. How with limited funds you grow your business, and I think that's a phenomenal thought process. The whole idea is, the definition of a startup is that a startup is a short-term organization in search of a repeatable, scalable, profitable business model much before your resources, passion, money runs out. So before your money runs out, find a business model which is repeatable, scalable, profitable, right? और ये business model को discover करने के लिए आपको बहुत सारा पैसा नहीं चाहिए. आपने एक minimal viable product बनाना है बहुत थोड़े पैसे के साथ, और उससे जाके टेस्ट करना है और उसको बढ़ा. इट्स लाइक दिस कि आपको हट बनाना है और हट को लेके जाओ लोगों के पास और उनसे फीडबैक लेके हट को बड़ा बनाओ. और हट को बनना चाहिए. इट शुड बी अ को क्रिएशन प्रोसेस विद द कस्टमर्स. और हम क्या करते हैं? ताजमहल खड़ा कर देते हैं और फिर चलते हैं ताजमहल बेचने के लिए, पर कोई कस्टमर ही नहीं होता ताजमहल. तब तक तो वी हैव इन्वेस्टेड मनी, गॉट मनी, ए सीरीज फंडिंग, बी सीरीज फंडिंग, कहाँ से मनी मुनी लेके आ गए और बहुत खुश हो गए, हमें इन्वेस्टमेंट मिल गई. पर खुश तब होना चाहिए जब आपको कस्टमर का मनी मिले, नॉट जब आपको इन्वेस्टर का मनी मिले. इन्वेस्टर मनी is foolishness, right? So I really believe in the concept of bootstrapping, which is, don't put money in the business till the time you've tested it to a minimal viable product.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Jyoti, I have one question for you.
Yes, Fala.
So, you just mentioned, right, that the best businesses, when you become the leaders in that, like you gave example like Google and Amazon, where customers are chasing you. So I just want to understand that how do you then position yourself, because how do you position yourself differently when everyone out there has the same product?
Beautiful.
Like, for example, I'll just relate to you for coaching. Like, everyone is doing everything out there, and with so many niche coming up, people are identifying niche. So then how do I become the Amazon in my industry and position myself differently? And this, I think every people will able to relate in every industry, because you pick up an industry and there are already players out there. So how do you then position yourself to be the market leader?
Got you. So for that, we have a concept called a business model, right? So I'm coaching you, right, a week later or something. By the way, I haven't received your first pre-work. I'll cancel the coaching session if I don't get your pre-work.
I still have time.
No, there are 3 levels of pre-work. There are 3 levels of pre-work. You send me the one, I'll send you the next. You send me the second, I'll send you the third. All 3 of you. Okay. All right. So I think it's a great question. What needs to happen here, Farah, is that it's an iterative process. First of all, understand that you will not get an answer sitting in your office. So you've got to look at, is there a way I can share my screen, Siddharth?
Yes, ma'am. You can share. I'll give you the sharing rights.
Okay. Or maybe you can share. I mean, I'll tell you how. You want to? Can you do that?
Yeah, I gave you the sharing rights, ma'am. You are the presenter right now. You can
Okay.
share your screen.
Okay. I'm just trying to see. When recording.
On the bottom, ma'am, there will be a share content. Share
Okay,
will
I'm-
be there
okay,
next to
okay,
the video.
Okay. So PowerPoint. But I want to go and open that file first, right? How do I go to my screen?
You can just minimize the this.
Yeah, so where is the minimize button? I'm looking for that.
Which button, ma'am?
Where is the minimize
There's
button?
Control plus D also.
Acha, okay, Control plus D, huh?
Yeah,
Control.
that can also work.
It didn't work. I have a Mac.
Okay.
Okay,
So, ma'am, you.
Okay, I'll try for 10 seconds. If it doesn't happen, then you share on my behalf.
Yeah, sure. That you need to send me the file, ma'am.
I can't even
Even
go
if-
to my notepad.
Even if you can send me on WhatsApp, ma'am. I will.
Okay, so I'll tell
share
you
it.
guys what to do. Okay, all of you. Who, instead of me sharing, why don't I support you to go to my to that file? So all of you type www.jyotigulati.com on your screens. Okay, and click on articles. This is the last article I would have published. How to grow your business in the times of COVID. So go to www. I'll put that on chat. So go to www.jyotigulati.com. Click on articles. Article on top is.
Yeah. I think, ma'am, I will share the screen now because I got your content. Yeah.
Okay. So the article on top is how to grow in the times of COVID, right? How to grow your business in the time of COVID. Did you get that article? So if you go down, scroll down a bit, there would be a downloadable file called business model, blank business model. Now click on articles, Siddharth. Click on articles.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So go down now.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. Go down. Go down.
This file.
Yeah. This it says download file. Just download this file. All right. Now just open this file and go to slide 2. So let's
Yeah.
do a little bit of a business modeling exercise for your business, Vara.
Is it visible to you, ma'am?
No, I can't see anything. Everybody, Farah, can you see the screen?
No, I can't.
Okay. Did you? Why don't you download that document on your own screen? If you Yeah. So that. Yes. Very nice. Very nice. Beautiful.
I think now it is visible.
Yes. Now it's visible. All right, Farah. Let's do your business. Let's do a little bit of a taster session on that. All right. So let's look at your business. Who are you? So there are 9 boxes in this business model. Okay. So
Okay.
the entire value of a business is represented on a single page. And there are set of questions in each one of those boxes. Okay, so we'll begin with box number 1, which is asking the first question. For whom are we creating value? So for who are you creating value, Farah?
So for business owners and entrepreneurs, and also from the life coaching perspective, so I'm into relationship coaching and career coaching, right? So that is my segment, like mid-career professionals with 8+ years of experience.
So can you see, you actually spoke about 4 different business models, not one. So the first
Yeah.
mistake that is so you can have 4 different businesses. I have 5 businesses because I have 5 different customer segments. So, though when you got to bring one customer segment here, and for that customer segment create value, and then create another business model for the next customer segment, then another business model for the next customer segment, and then make one business model profitable, repeatable, scalable, then pick up the next business model. What is happening is now you have 4 kids and they are quadruplets. Chalo kathe born ho gaye. You don't know whom to feed what. You understand what I'm saying? Correct. So now for the conversation, which customer segment you want, which is your most important customer segment?
Business coaching, entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs. Now, entrepreneurs are of different variety, right? One are aspiring entrepreneurs who are not entrepreneurs as yet, but they want to be entrepreneurs. Second are early stage entrepreneurs who have got an idea but don't know what to do next. Third are
targeting small to medium sized entrepreneurs right now.
Okay. So meaning they already have set up a business?
Yeah, set up a business and looking for some form of scalability.
Got you. So meaning you're basically targeting small and medium enterprises then, not really entrepreneurs, right?
Yes, yes.
For how many years have they been in business? You have an idea?
2 to 3 years.
Okay, so they're still entrepreneurs because small and medium enterprises, they've been in business for 10 years and now they're looking for scalability. We're not looking at those kind of entrepreneurs. We're looking at those businesses. We're looking at an entrepreneur who's been in business for 2 to 3 years, right? And wants to now scale their business, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, all right. So then when we look at for whom are we creating value? We're creating value for those entrepreneurs who've been in business for 2 to 3 years.
Yes.
So, will you write that down someplace so that, just take a blank piece of paper.
Yeah, I am writing it down.
All right, good. So who are our most important customers out of this group of people who've been in business for 2 to 3 years, right? And based on your experience of conversations with them, they're looking to scale up. What is your, who are most important from here? Are these largely women? Are they largely men? Are they in cities like Gurgaon? Or are they all over the country? Are they outside the country? Who are these people?
So they are mostly men and women both. I'm not doing gender specific here, and my location is anyone. Like my target audience is like the globe. Right? I don't want to restrict myself to a location specific.
Right. So that means I'm assuming your coaching happens over Zoom or WebEx or whatever it is.
Yes, Zoom. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got it. So again, question: who are your most important customers? See, I'll tell you what. I'll give you an example of Apple. So when Apple came up with iPod, right, first time, long time back, right, I explained to you the importance of what is a niche so that you understand. So what it is, they targeted young kids, in the sense college-going kids, young, peppy, smart, young kids. The target was that. Right. So the advertising was around that theme, how it's about youthfulness, etc. But when a grandmother walked into an Apple store, they didn't say, "We will not sell to you." Got it? So it's about marketing niche, but selling mass. I understand.
Yes.
So
yes.
it's very important for you to see, like, for example, that woman, the fitness trainer in the US, she figured that the problem was that women wanted to fit into their college jeans, right? She was able to communicate that through a website, through however other channels that she was communicating. And people who were drawn to that message came there. So actually, as entrepreneurs, we are in search of our tribe, wherever that is. I know my tribe are those people who want to build a great business and who want personal mastery and life mastery and business mastery. Not everybody wants to build a great business. 99% of people want to build a business to earn money. I am looking at somebody who wants to build $1 billion business, because building the money doesn't matter. The fact is, to build a grand business requires you to grow to a grand height. It's very important to know what inspires you and what is. And so I talk to them. I speak a single language. I talk to them through my articles, I talk to them through my website. When I'm communicating or gifting sessions, that's a conversation. I'm searching for that customer who will benefit by who I am and what I have to sort of present and give to the world. What my purpose is, and that's my purpose. My purpose is to transform, to support people to transform their lives personally and professionally from good to great. That comes from purpose, right?
Yes.
So you said these are, so let's begin from here. Entrepreneurs with 2 to 3 years experience, who want to scale their businesses, right?
Yes.
And they may be men, women, doesn't matter. Where are they located? They're located in big cities, they're located in small towns.
I'm looking at metros.
Metros in the country. So let's start so in metros, right? All right.
Yes.
So let's go to the second box. The second box is, what value do we deliver to this customer? So what value do you deliver to this customer? Why do they pay you?
Obviously because I'm helping them in like processes, setting up processes, team management, leadership, as you mentioned, and sitting down with them, helping them create an action plan, scale it up, be on those action plan, give them third person's perspective. So those are the values that I am giving them.
Got it.
Like
So
setting up a team management, like selecting a right team.
Right. So this is the value that Farah is giving. But what value in their world are they receiving? So here's your task for you. How many entrepreneurs do you know who are in 2 to 3 years, who've been in business for 2 to 3 years? Can you make
I've already have coached a couple of them. Like I have couple of 5, 6 now.
5, 6 now, and you would know maybe 5, 6 more?
Yes.
So here's what I want you to do. Exactly like that entrepreneur in the US did. I want you to interview these 10 people. I want you to ask them, people that you coached before, ask them, what value did I create for you? And listen to what they're saying. And to people that you haven't coached as yet, ask them, what would create real value? What can I do for you that would create real value, that you'd come and tell me after 5 years that I made a massive difference to your life and your business? And if you can get me the answers to these, these 2 questions from these 2 set of groups of entrepreneurs, of those who are coached and those who you may want to coach, I think we'll have something to sort of work on.
Yes, I will definitely.
Yes, that's a way. Ask them, why did you pay me? The clients who paid you, ask them, why did you pay me? What difference did I make to you? How did I support you? And to those that you haven't coached as yet, ask them, what would be really meaningful for you if I could help you create that would make a massive difference to you?
See, I already am in that feedback taking activity. So every client that I coach, I do a feedback form where I emphasize that they give me true and honest feedback. So from that perspective, I have my clients' feedbacks with me, like on what value I am helping them create.
So what is a common thread? Do you see a common thread? That's something that they keep repeating across all the responses that you got?
Yeah, so they told me that obviously the one common thing that I've got is like I'm a deep listener. I give them very precise and honest, to the point, advice, not advice, I mean to say, like I open their minds to different perspectives and questions, and help them manage. So see, basically I didn't restrict myself to only business coaching, because when I was starting with, my thought process was I don't want to limit my target audience. So I'm also in that phase of exploring where I want to see where my expertise is to give the best outcome in all areas of life. So I didn't wanted to directly jump into niche and say, okay, this is my forte. So I was open to
the niche is a discovery, and a niche is overrated. No, we're not looking for niche. We're looking for the value that you're creating.
So from different clients, I got different feedback. So say
So,
from
yeah. So what ultimately you want to ask them is, I gave you this value, but how did it help you in your business?
Yeah, so for one of the clients, he really told me that whatever inputs that I gave, it really helped him scale the business, and he's really thankful for me. And he's like, whatever you told me, I implemented it, and I thought over it, and he's happy now. So it really worked for him.
So you helped them scale. Did you help them? Did anybody say that you helped them become more profitable?
Help him scale is help them profitable only. That's my understanding.
Okay, so then that is the value. Okay, so that's the value that we start off with. What value do you provide to your customer? Is to support my clients, is to coach my clients to become profitable and scale their businesses.
Yes.
Right? So that's the answer to that question.
Yes.
And the next question is, what is the problem that you're helping to solve?
So the problem is that, they are stuck where they don't know, how to, so there is a lot of lag. Obviously, every business has different problems, right? So say for the last client that I coach was stuck in terms of how to market himself in his industry and get clienteles. And then he had issues with team management where he had a lot of retentions. Like, he was facing difficulty in holding an employee for more than 1.5 years. So then I literally sat with his team and with him alone, and I tried to bridge the gap as to. So what I realized is that over the period of time, the vision what he wanted to run the company with was diluted as to what the employee understood about it. So there was a gap between the founders and the employees. So that was my last coaching experience.
Who is your customer? The founder is your customer, or the employees are your customers?
No, the founder is my customer, the company. But when I coach companies, so sometimes I don't only coach the founders, I do the entire company evaluation where I also sit with the employees.
Understood. So that means,
Understand and bridge the gap between the two.
right, got it. So then what is the problem are you really helping to solve?
So the last problem I told you, right? There was a conflict. There was a communication gap between the founders and the employees, and he was finding it difficult to retain his clients. And then he was facing a lot of problems where the clients were moving, the employees were moving, like they would not stick around with him for.
Right. So the problem that I see is not knowing how to grow.
Yes.
Not what to do to create operational efficiency, what to do to create extraordinary service for their clients. Not knowing.
His people management skills were little, to be worked upon. So
Got
that
it.
was the problem
So
area.
is that an issue with all your clients, that they have people management issues?
So this is my last example. So see, with business, every business that owner that I work with, there is a different problem area. So some may be good with people, some may be have very different problem. So this was the last company that I
So
coached.
what I want you to do is look at each of the clients that you have coached, and for each client, put what problem you solved, and you'll find a pattern, right? And that is the pattern that will show up. Then you put that pattern here as an answer to this question. Okay. The next question is, what bundles of products and services are we offering to each customer segment? So what is the bundle of product? How is it a coaching service? Is it a 1 year engagement? Is it a 6-month engagement? All that comes here.
Okay.
Okay. And usually my invitation is, have a menu card of services, right? You have an entry level at a certain amount, and then you have a middle price. Like when you go to a restaurant, they give you a menu card, right? You have some choices. So give some choices to your customer: an entry level program, a mid program, and a premium program. So create like that. Okay. So then once you're clear on that value proposition, how do you test that value proposition? What you do is you make a list of some 10, 12 entrepreneurs that you know, right? And then start to have conversations with them, taking the answers to this to validate with them. And in that whole process, so I follow a process which is called, I learned from my coach, Rich Litwin. He's a super coach. I coached under him for 9 months, and he had a fantastic, customer creation process.
What's his name?
Rich Litwin. You can Google him. He's on YouTube also. Fantastic. He's a coach. He coaches coaches as well. So in fact, he primarily coaches coaches, and there's a lot of material that he has on YouTube. So you can, in fact, he has written this book called The Prosperous Coach, which is a fantastic book for all coaches. So what he says, the problem is, once I was coaching this gentleman, he was heading sales. Okay. And you can close this. So do you see this business model? And you can try and fill this up on your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then give you a lot of clarity on how your business creates value. Right. Siddharth, you can stop sharing. Thank you, Siddharth. Appreciate your help here. So I was telling
sure.
you. Yeah. Sorry. Farah, what was I going to tell you? I just missed.
You were talking about Rich Litwin.
I was talking about the customer creation process, right? And I think from a sense I get is you're more stuck in the customer creation process than anything else. You have a clear value proposition, but you don't know how to go search for customers, isn't it?
Yes.
So see, I was talking to you about a head of sales I was coaching. The problem is sales happens not through the process of selling. Sales happens by establishing human-to-human connections. And if all we go is into a meeting, how can I sell what I have? You know what? You won't sell. But if you go into a meeting, say, I'm really curious to know about this person. Say, for example, I had a meeting with Siddharth. He just sent me a LinkedIn request. I said, okay, I'd love to meet up with you, Siddharth. Let's have a conversation. That's what I do. I never have connections on my LinkedIn without talking to them. Like you send me a LinkedIn request, right? I said, okay, let's talk. So human connection. I believe people come together for a reason. And they're invisible connections that connect human beings. And we're all seeking meaning. We're all seeking to contribute to each other. So sales is a process of making that human-to-human connection with another being and see how you can serve them. Right? Yeah. And the first step in this customer creation process is called connect. So you make a human-to-human connection, right? And the agenda is not to sell what you have. I learned the hard way. When I started selling 10 years ago, I would make a difference so that I could earn money. But now after 10 years, having learned the other way, I make a difference because I want to contribute. And I create a lot more wealth today than I created 10 years ago. I remember when I started out, one coaching program I gave us some $700 or something like that, right? And today I have a premium program at 27 lakhs. That's the quantum of difference. And money, see how much expensive money is an expression of how much of a difference you're making. Okay, so I do have entry-level programs, but that's the highest program that it goes at when I'm coaching CEOs of large corporates, right? So the conversation is not about, and so the reason why that head of sales was failing is because he would get into every conversation as I have to sell, I have to get my number, I have to meet my target. If I don't sell, I will lose my job. If I want, and I have another entrepreneur I was coaching that I'm retiring now. Sometimes I come to a point, I realize that my client is not coachable. So then we just end the relationship because if there's no willingness to receive, then it doesn't work, right? So there's this whole thing of, when you're needy, you're creepy. Especially when you're building a new business, I always recommend to my clients, don't be needy for customers. So that you're not needy, ensure that you have a cash project in the background. If you have a job, don't kick it. Have another source of revenue so that you're not needy for money from your business. As long as you're needy, you're going to be creepy. Anybody, you go to somebody, that neediness is such a bad sting that people will run away. If you've noticed, people run away from such people. It shows, right? And Yeah, and people run away from salespeople. Nobody wants to be sold to, right? So, but everybody loves to be listened to, and that is your secret power. You're a coach, Farah. Use that secret power and really deeply listen to make that human connection. Don't step into that phone call and build. I mean, I've had conversations with people 2 years back, 3 years back, 5 years back. I've gifted them sessions. And after 5 years back, they'll come back, Jyoti, we are ready to be coached by you now. So, and it's about constantly, there's this dynamic of it's in giving that we receive. And so the first step in the customer creation process, very quickly, we're just 10 minutes into ending the session. Somebody put a question: how do you create good customer base in any business sector? Excellent question, Venkatra. And that's what I'm saying. First step is to build human connections. You have a network on LinkedIn, send them a message. You're on my LinkedIn. I'd love to talk to you. Have human to human connections. Don't have dead connections, And if you have, say, for example, your college, you went to, you did engineering or you did undergraduation, then you did post-graduation, you have a huge community. The first step is to make a list of communities you're a part of and start picking up people and start creating connections with people. Because if your customers are entrepreneurs, you talk to your college mate, maybe your husband is an entrepreneur, right? So you make a list of all the communities that you're a part of, start building that connection, human to human connections. The first step in building, great Venkat, a good customer base is to have a great set of human connections. Be human beings that you're connected to, not because you have an agenda, right? Just because but because you want to contribute to them and start to have conversations. And when you convert, like we had a connect conversation, didn't we? You and I, Farah, right?
Yes.
And then I understood, I listened, what you were looking for. Then when I heard, I thought, oh, maybe if I coach her for a session, that may make a difference to her. And I gifted you a session, right? That's called an invitation, right? Invitation means I'm happy. This is what I have. And I think what I have will serve you. I'm happy to gift you if that will serve you. And you said, yes, it will serve me. I said, all right, great. So we scheduled a session, right? And when you come to the session, there is no difference to me whether a paid client is coming or a gift session client is coming. I give them my all. In fact, whatever that I know is already uploaded as articles on my website. Everything that I know is up there, right? And I write every day so that more and more I know gets circulated in the world. Because all this knowledge is not mine, no. I have learned from others, integrated in my little head and put it out there. And my joy is not distributing gyan. Gyan to free mein hai, yaar, bahut Google hai. The joy that I have as a coach to help people implement that, right? So my value is really in implementing and creating real outcomes in people's lives. So then you give your all to whoever you're gifting, right? The session. And then if it makes a difference to them and if it connects with you, because not everybody is your tribe. It may not inspire you to coach everybody. It doesn't inspire me to coach everybody. I don't go around gifting my sessions to everybody, but I gift it to you because I connected with you, right? Yeah. And I may not propose to you at the end of the session because I may feel that maybe, I'd be not meant to have a journey, and yet I may propose to you. And yet before I propose to you, you may say, okay, I want to be a coach, and then we may have a conversation, right? Then the next step, first step is to connect. Second step is to invite people into a business conversation. And that business conversation, I call it make a difference session. And then you make a difference, make a massive difference through whatever you know in that person's human being so that they never forget that day. And then after you've made a massive difference, then you propose. A lot of clients come to me and they send proposals on email. I said, never send proposals on email. Never. It has to be a human-to-human connection conversation, right? And so propose in a human, and they will say yes if what you have to offer them will make a difference to them, or they'll say no if right now that doesn't serve them. It means nothing about me. If you say no to me, it doesn't mean anything about me. It just meant whatever gift I have or whatever that I'm meant to do in this lifetime through my business doesn't serve your need right now. That's all that there is to it, right? And then you propose, right? I don't do any social media marketing. No campaigns, no marketing, zero. I built my business without marketing. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Okay, we are 5 minutes to 1. So let's sort of, wind up this meeting.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. I think our respected panelist, Shri Arun Kumar Jha, our IAS and DG, he has joined the meeting, and also our group head, Shri Shailesh Srivastav ji, he has also joined the meeting today. So I think I should invite to our respected DG, sir, Shri Arun Kumar Jha, to give a concluding remark. Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming.
I think today's webinar must have been a very, very useful and fruitful to all our participants. Because everybody wants to be better. What was the dictum of French Revolution? It was a statement by Voltaire. Those who are good, they want to become better.
Correct.
The question there was that one has to be good. Then only you can become better. But challenge should be that how to make bad one also good and good one to better.
Correct.
But in this post-corona session, I think all our organizations in India, this is really a challenge. We do not want to go for standardization. We do not want to go for quality management. And that is the biggest problem of our, it is a question of attitude, I think. I think this kind of webinar will be quite useful to all of us. I think Siddharth should have said everybody from NPC should have participated. When I saw this, then I thought that it is a very good thing that people, whenever you are progressing, you have to think that how you can do better, how can you compete with your own self. Every day something needs to be done, and it should be a continuous exercise.
Absolutely, I agree.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Siddharth. And let us hope for the best. Stay safe. All the best.
Thank you. I appreciate your last kind words.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot for coming. And I think I request all the other panelists as well as the participants, if you have any of the query, please ask ma'am, and you can turn on your video as well as your mic, and you can straightforwardly ask to the question. Yes, Tripathi sir.
Ma'am, in fact, I had posted my bit of a learning from your wonderful session, ma'am. Congratulations to you and thanks a lot for sharing your insights to all of us. Ma'am, what I wanted to express is all said and done. The volatility of the economic and the prevalent market conditions, or the conditions which will keep on coming and going time and again, they have to impact all kinds of businesses the world over.
Correct.
So one of the crucial or important aspects, what I feel in the business model assessment you showed to us, I believe that the risk assessment and analysis of the proposed or the current businesses and the activities to be undertaken under each of the respective businesses is also a very important aspect for starting any venture. And as our Kumar Jha ji also pointed out, the journey from good to great, from normal to better to good, and then probably to great. Thank you. It was a very insightful session, ma'am. It was wonderful listening to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. And generosity. And thank you, Farah, for being a very audience. It helps create.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. It was really insightful.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ms. Jyoti Gulati ji. You had a very wonderful session today, and I think all of the participants whoever joined today will get a idea of how to become an entrepreneur. And I think within a short period of time, everyone will become a business owner in I think in his near future. And I would like to express my gratitude to all of you participants who has joined today, and wish you all the very good luck for the future as we are into COVID times and things are not like normal nowadays. And I wish everyone business will succeed and they will have a very fruitful future. And all the best to all of the participants for attending, and have a nice day. Thanks, ma'am. Thanks a lot for coming and giving us your very busy schedule and giving some of the times to the participant and giving your knowledge. And thank you a lot. Thanks a lot for coming, ma'am. And thanks a lot all the participants to coming. And before closing this session, I will just like to share PPT, and I will just like to introduce what are the few sessions which we are having with NPC, and what are the future webinars which we are having. So I'll just like to share that. Yeah, is that screen is visible to you all?
Fine.
Yeah, the screen is visible to you all.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'd just like to. I think my voice is echoing. So this, some of the interesting webinars on business leadership, which NPC is conducting in coming days. So like strategic goal of energy managers, which is being scheduled on 24th of September, that is tomorrow at 11 a.m. And empowering your team, which is on 25th of September at 3 p.m. And we do have a work-life balance webinar. And like this, you can just take a screenshot of this because my voice is echoing and it is quite disturbing to me. So it's better if you take the screenshot. If you want to attend any of the webinars, you can log into NPC website, which is www.npcindia.gov.in. In the webinar session, you can just go and you can register yourself. And many of our webinars are also free of cost, so you can directly register there and you can join our webinar at whatever the date it is being scheduled. And thanks a lot for coming. And to the participant who has joined us, for them, the downloading certificate is, I will just like to give you. You can just go to the participant login registration, and where you can log in with date as your and your email as your database, and then you can just download the certificate from there. There will be an option for the webinar which you have attended. Then you can just on the download, and certificate like this will come to you, and you can just keep it for your reference. And thanks a lot for coming. You do like us and follow our all the social media page. We are into Facebook, we are into Instagram, we are into LinkedIn, we are into Twitter, and also we have a YouTube channel where we are posting all the webinars which we are conducting in a recorded version. And also recently, as per our DG Sir initiative, we have launched a virtual webinar session where all the webinars which we have conducted so far are being kept in NPC Vault, where whatever the webinars which we have conducted will be showcased to all of the participants for a very nominal cost. So if you like to attend a few of our webinars, you can directly go to our NPC website and you can log in from there. And if you have any questions or if you have any queries, you just simply mail on our training training ID, or you can directly mail to me siddharth.pal at npcindia.gov.in. And you can also mail to Kalpana. She's also one of our teammate. And thanks a lot for coming, and thank you all for participating. And I will also like to thank all my team members, Ms. Kalpana Thakur, Ms. Shravani Srivastav, and Mr. Jalendu for marketing our sessions and getting a very beautiful response from the participants. And thanks a lot for coming. And thank you, ma'am. Thanks, DG sir. And thanks all the panelists for coming to us. And keep connecting and have a nice day. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll exit now, Siddharth.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we are ending the meeting.
All right.